what do you think we're here to talk about today? It is the finale, the roundup kind of overview video of the newest 5 Looks 1 Palette series, which was 5 looks using the Wicked Widow Beauty American Psycho palette. I have a couple other pieces from the collection too, which you guys would have seen me use throughout those 5 looks. But the focus of this video in particular is the eyeshadow. Maybe in the outro I'll give you my kind of thoughts overall on all the items I picked up from the collection. But for now, we're just looking at the eyes. If you've been tuned into the channel, then you would have seen the 5 individual videos, like the video that I did for each of the 5 looks leading up to this one. If you haven't already watched those, I recommend doing that. They will be linked throughout this video, like as we go through each look. A little title card will pop up on the screen depending on what you're watching this on. That will link you to each of the videos for the 5 looks. That also automatically links them at the bottom of the description box as well. If you didn't tune in for the last 5 Looks 1 Palette series that I did with the Fantasy Cosmetica Harvest of Souls palette, then there is some info that bears repeating. This video is a roundup of all the 5 looks compiled into one, but it is just focusing on eyeshadow, specifically how I did the eye looks, because the star of the show is this palette. So if you're curious about anything else that was on my face, or like how I did my base or my lips or anything extra like that with each of these looks, you can go to the video for that look to see how I did that. And all 5 of the looks, the videos for them are no talking, just makeup style videos. I have a whole playlist full of videos like that. So it's just me doing my makeup to music. You're not hearing me talk. I'm not yapping at you about anything like I'm going to be in this video, mostly via voiceover. So that way there's options. You can watch this video if you want to hear the voiceover and like me talking about why I did things the way that I did, or kinda sorta giving you a tutorial for each look, but mostly talking about my thoughts on this palette, my experience using it, basically giving you a pretty thorough first impression review of each shade in the palette. This is the video for you. If you're not so much interested in all the details on that, but you just kind of want to still see me do the looks, but have it be like a more chill vibe. I don't know about chill. Since this movie's set in the 80s, I did use a lot of 80s inspired synth pop songs from Epidemic Sound throughout the 5 videos. So that's something to bear in mind, but generally the no talking, just makeup videos are pretty chill. So yeah, there's options depending on however you want to consume the information about this palette, whether it's with your eyes or your ears and your eyes. There's a couple different, there are different options on my channel for you to check out, and they're all super accessible. This look actually is not one of the 5 looks. This is a bonus look. Technically, we did a 6 Looks 1 palette this time because, well, actually, I'll leave it to voiceover me to explain why I felt a need to do a bonus look later on. So if you're interested in hearing about that, definitely stay tuned. Yeah, I think in the outro, I will talk about each of the products that I picked up, because I got the palette, I got one of the lip gloss shades. I'm kind of kicking myself. I probably should have just gotten both the lip gloss shades, but it's fine. I got the red one, Bloodlust. I wore it for 3 of the 5 looks, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong. Maybe it was 4 of the 5. I don't remember. I wore this a lot. And also, the body oil, which I also have on right now. I use this for look number 2. But yeah, I'll talk more in detail about those in the outro. For now, I'm gonna hand things off to voiceover Jax, so she can take you through each of the 5 looks that I did with this palette. So enjoy that. I'll see you back here at the end. Okay, so I figured I would start with giving you guys a close-up look at the palette itself, the color story, the packaging, all that jazz, just like we did in the last one of these that I did. Packaging is 10 out of 10. What a good job they did. Here's the, like, ingredients and such on the back for you. Really well executed design. YouTube's probably not going to be happy with me showing you images of bloody weapons and things, but you know the source material if you're here, probably. So really fun color story. You know, when they were teasing that this was coming, I was like, I don't know what to expect from that. Like, I don't necessarily know how you do an American Psycho color story. but I would say they nailed it, especially if you kind of look at like color swatches that people have pulled from stills in that movie. I'd say they did good. And you know, it's in 80s fashion, a real mullet of a palette because it's half neutral, half colorful. So, you know, it's like business up top, party on the bottom, essentially. I think that's fun. There was some staining from the blues and also one of the deep browns, actually. I'm pointing at that right here. To nobody's surprise, the first look I wanted to do with this palette was something involving a red liner, specifically a red wing. This is especially unsurprising if you came here from Instagram. So first I set my brow bone area with shade Bone, which is that really light, creamy off-white shade. And now I'm going in and starting to build up the crease with the shade Evelyn, which is like a really gorgeous, it is a contender for favorite matte in the palette. It is one of my favorite matte shades that I worked with consistently throughout these looks. It's like it's a mauvey brown. It's got a really beautiful, like rosy, blushy undertone, and it is just gorgeous. It's a really beautiful neutral matte, actually. I was really happy with it. The way it blends, it's super smooth. 10 out of 10 shade. I think a lot of people would look at that shade in this color story and think it's just one of the more unassuming ones. Like, okay, it's a neutral transition shade, whatever. It's so beautiful. It's so versatile for me. I love that. Yeah, really great shadow. And I was also really happy with Bone, actually. There are basically two really light off-white mattes in here. Oh, I tightlined with this liquid shadow from About Face, and now I'm starting to build up the wing with the red shade Killer, which might just have to kind of automatically win first place for favorite matte shadow for me. I already know because I have the Crow palette from Wicked Widow that they do reds really, really well. And when I saw this red in the palette, it was one of the shades that made me go like, oh, okay. I might need that because I really love the tone of red that they chose. The undertone of this red shade is just so perfect. And I feel like compared to other like red matte shades that I do have, this one's really kind of unique, actually. So I was really happy with that. And I was really excited to be doing like a red winged look with it. I was really happy with the way that it performed both times that I reached for it, actually. So yeah, that's Killer, the red matte. Really happy with the mattes that I've dipped into so far for this look. I wanted to get back to the light matte shades in here. There are two of them, Eggshell and Bone. Two really light off-white ones. Bone is really kind of closer to a true white. It's you know, it's a pretty bright shade. Eggshell isn't really like an eggshell shade. It's really just kind of a very light, kind of slightly warmer toned beige. Oh, now I'm going in with the shade. This would be the shade Mergers, which is one of those really beautiful. It's like the slightly warmer kind of chocolatey brown shade up top in that top row. It's the one in the middle. Really nice brown. Here's the thing with the whole top row is like, and really a lot of the neutrals in general is like, we did get a lot of really good transition / deepening shades, which, you know, your opinion might vary on depending on your skin tone. I feel like the neutral aspect of this palette is the part of the color story where we really could have edited things down. Like I was saying about the two really light, bright, kind of matte highlighting shades, Eggshell and Bone. I don't really feel like we need both of these. I was really happy with the Bone shade in particular. I reached for that one a lot as like specifically to highlight my brow bone area and really smooth out my edges. It was really good for that. I dipped into Eggshell once, and I think I dipped into Bone for literally all the other shades, so Now I'm going in with Superficial, which is the first deep brown in that top row. Not as deep as Reservation, the one right next to it. But still just like a really deep dark brown. It's like nice that they gave us options within the neutrals in terms of like depth and also undertone. It's like they wanted to give you a deep brown, but they didn't just want to give you one. They, like if you prefer a warmer one, they wanted you to have that. If you prefer a cooler one, they wanted you to have that, and vice versa in terms of all the neutral shades, whether it's for deepening that outer corner or doing your transition or blending in between and what have you. Like, it's cool that they gave us those options. I don't know. It's like a thing that makes sense if you're just doing like a good neutral palette. Like, they gave us good neutrals in here. But because it's like an IP like collaboration, I'm not sure it was super necessary. Now I'm going in with the shade Dorsia. That really gorgeous, oh my god. This like chocolatey bronze shimmer in the middle of the second row. Oh, this shimmer is beautiful. But I was obviously Wicked Widow does shimmers really well. I was really happy with all the shimmers in the Crow palette when I was testing that out. So I kind of knew what I was getting into with the shimmers in these palettes. There's like a really good variety in terms of textures available to dip into, and the shades that they went with, I couldn't be more thrilled about. They gave us a really excellent variety of tones to play with in this color story. And I just love this shimmer, and I love these browns paired with this vibrant red. I'm popping more of Bone on the inner corner as like a matte inner corner highlight, because I like that. I do wish the shape I went with for the eyes here is really distinct and I think interesting, but I do wish I had done more blending on the inner portion of the eye. It's almost like it's like too harsh. It's like, it's fun, but I do wish I had done more refining. But other than that, I do love this look. This is probably my favorite of the 5 looks. We started off strong. This look, how look number 2. So this is the look where I used eggshell. I was overall going for a warmer, the warmer brown tones. Or no, I'm wrong. I'm actually wrong about that. I did a warmer transition by dipping into eggshell first, and now I'm starting to build up my wing with the shade Reservation, which is the more like cooler toned, really the deepest of the darker browns in that top row. The one that left a weird blue tint on my hand when I swatched out these shades. I'm building a wing with that. You guys did not like this look. You got... Nobody tuned in for this look. Nobody liked this video. Nobody liked this look when I posted it on Instagram. You guys were like, girl, what the fuck? This is so boring. And like, I get it. I get it. Listen, I understand. I like it. I like this look. I really do. I really feel like the first 2 looks are kind of the strongest of the 5, in my opinion. They gave me half the palette is neutrals. Half the palette is what did you want me to do? And I just kind of felt like the neutral look with like a pop of blue was like fun. Now I will admit the pop of blue was supposed to be much more vibrant. I forgot. This series was cursed, and I'm going to get into why. I forgot when I was going to do this look. As you can see, I'm starting to smoke out my lower lash line with the same neutrals I'm using up top, right? I was not supposed to do that. It was initially going to be a very vibrant blue lower lash line, like fully smoked out blue in contrast with the neutrals. But I forgot that when I sat down to film this. My mental faculties were not with... Listen, this series is cursed. It's like every single one of these looks, there's like one thing that, it's not like it went wrong, but it's just not what I wanted it to be. Or like, you know, in one of the instances it was kind of an issue that I had with a shade in this palette, and that's in the next look, and we're going to get into that. In every other aspect, there was like one thing going wrong while I'm trying to do these looks. Something wrong when I'm going filming, something not going according to plan, me not being on my game, or other extenuating circumstances, which we will also get into. In this case, I forgot what I was supposed to be doing when I was doing this look. Now I'm using the shade Stray Cat. I kind of wanted to do something interesting and use 2 shimmers on the lid with this look, and kind of have it be like the gold was like wrapping around the Frenzy shade, which is that really gorgeous kind of blue to like plummy purple, like aqua shimmer. Really gorgeous shimmer. I was going to kind of have it be like that was on the lid, and then the gold is like kind of wrapping up and around it, and then I didn't wind up liking the way that that looked. Although looking at it here on camera, I'm like, it's actually fine, but I think in person I was like just not liking the way that it looked. So what I wound up doing was just going over with more gold and essentially mixing the 2 shades together, and I wound up with this really interesting, like, shifty silver and gold kind of mixed metals situation that I thought ultimately came out looking pretty cool. But obviously I was like, damn, I really wanted that blue shimmer to have more pull in the look, and I kind of just like fucked that off. But it was kind of fun to see what kind of effect you could get by layering the shimmers like that, because that's always fun. You guys know me, you know I like to mix things, so I wasn't by any means like disappointed with the effect that I wound up with. But obviously that just meant I needed to find a way to incorporate that blue shimmer in another look, which is part of why, here's where we start getting into, it's part of why I decided to do a bonus look for this series, and why the blue shimmer was the star of the show for that bonus look. Just all over the lid. Intensifying the wing. The shade that I used to smoke out the wing earlier, by the way, was The News. Just another nice brown. Nice brown shade. And now I'm starting to tie in the blue elsewhere. So I'm going in with the Patrick Bateman shade, which is that really vibrant cobalt blue in the middle of the 3rd row. Tight lining with that, essentially, which wound up working pretty well, and it also layered up. So I did still wind up with that blue lower lash line. It's just not what I was initially intending it to be. There was supposed to be way more blue in this look. And I'm also wearing the red lip gloss from the collection here, by the way, as well as the shimmery body oil. 3rd look, this is where things really start to take a turn. I really felt like with the first 2 looks, we started off strong. I'm using the shade Insane, which is a really interesting kind of like concrete shade. It's like a grey taupe shade. Really nice. And then also softening everything up with Bone. Again, just really, really like that matte highlighting shade. And I'm starting to pack Detective Kimball, which is the kind of powdery, less saturated kind of denim blue at the end of the 3rd row. It was actually one of the other colors, one of the other matte shades in this palette that really drew me in when they released the color story. I was like, wow, that's a really interesting blue. I really enjoyed that. This shade gave me a lot of trouble. It did. I left a lot of the process of me building and blending and building and blending this shade on my eye until I get it like reasonably to where I want it to be. Because it was just it has a real issue. How do I want to put this actually? It's not like, I hadn't tried a blue shade from Wicked Widow before, and I always approach blue shadows with caution whenever I'm trying them in a new formula to me at any point, because blues and purples in particular are kind of difficult to formulate. So I wasn't like going into this expecting it to be a super mind-blowing pigment or anything like that. I am actually also adding a little bit of the Patrick Bateman shade, the Cobalt Blue, onto the lid, just to give things a little extra punch. Because the Detective Kimball shade is not really giving me what I want it to, which is fine. I wasn't exactly expecting miracles here. I understand whenever I'm trying a new blue in a new eyeshadow formula to me that like I might be disappointed, and that just kind of has to be okay. Oh, and I'm taking Jean, which is the really interesting kind of blush, maybe not blush, but like rosy pink in the palette to smoke out my lower lash line, and I am going to add more of Killer as well. I did find another excuse to incorporate the red. I do kind of wish I had not done a contrasting lower lash line. I do kind of wish that I just kept things... Oh, this is me bitching about how patchy the Detective Kimball shade is in my crease and trying to fix it. I do kind of wish I just stuck to the blue, just done a blue smoky eye instead of a contrasting lower lash line. Now I'm using the shade Vein, which is that really sparkly white topper shade. Really, really beautiful shade. Very versatile shade. I'm going to highlight my inner corner and also do a really frosty brow bone highlight with that. This look ultimately came together. It was kind of chaotic. I think ultimately in a good way. But there were a lot of tones competing with each other. It didn't feel very cohesive in the end. And so I do kind of wish I had not done the contrasting lower lash line and I just straight up done a blue smoky eye. So that I feel like I might have been overall happier with this look if I'd done it that way. This another thing that happened, I'm doing a green and gold halo eye here. I'm starting out with that sage green in the bottom row, the double life shade, a really, really light sage green. I'm really taking my time building that up. It is quite a sheer shade. It's really just like a soft whisper of sage green. If you don't really, really build it up, it's basically just going to look like a gray on the eye. So I'm really taking my time with that, starting to build up that halo shape. Just doing something very soft and smoky. There was a whole step of this eye look that I forgot to do because I was fearing for my life. Starting to build out that halo with the shade Greed, which is that really perfect deep green in the center of the bottom row. There was a spider. There was a spider on my ring light, really, really distracting me the entire time I was doing this look. It was a thing. There's a whole extra video in the series devoted to that fucking spider and me dealing with that. Because I'm only allowed 5 title cards in this video, I'm not going to link it here, but here's the thumbnail for you, so you have an idea. Yeah. I was going to incorporate the green shimmer, Envy, really, really beautiful green shimmer, into this look. You're going to see in a minute here. I'm going to pack Stray Cat, that really gorgeous kind of light gold shimmer, on the center of the eye, and then I was going to use Envy to blend the gold into the deep green, and I completely forgot to do that because things were happening to me psychologically, and I got very distracted, and that just is what it is. So that was also part of my motivation for doing the bonus look, was that I was like, I gotta incorporate that green shimmer. This shimmer is just cursed. Envy is a cursed shade, because then when I sat down to do the bonus look for the intro and the outro of this video, I once again forgot to use it. I don't know how that happened. So, to my dismay, I did 6 looks with this fucking palette, and there is one shade in this color story that I have not actually put on my eyes. Which is not, that bothers me a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you, that bothers me so much. But, anyway, it's not like you guys aren't gonna see me do more looks with this palette in the future. It's just really annoying, because like part of the whole point of this series is that I test out every shade in the palette, that I test out every part of the color story, show you possible combinations, like just kind of like the kind of looks that I naturally in my brain gravitate to with the colors on hand. And I just, this one shimmer just got forgotten about twice, and I feel bad. And it's so dumb, but whatever. Okay, final cursed look, actually. So I'm going in with the shade Jean. I just wanted to do something pink and red. I love that color combo. I love the tone of pink and I love the tone of red that they went with for this color story. So I was like, I gotta do a pink and red look like I just do. I thought I was gonna do something fun and graphic and like cool, but I did not plan ahead for that. So I went in like blind, not knowing what I was gonna do. And unsurprisingly, they wound up not working out. I was not liking what was happening. I lost my patience. I wiped it off. I started over. Maybe I'll do a fun graphic wing. Nope. Nope. Don't like how that looks either. So I just started packing Killer on everywhere. I was like, we're doing a red smoky eye. We're doing a red smoky eye. That was where I was at. I was in a really bad headspace on this day. I was PMSing hardcore, and I was just in a really bad mood and really not actually feeling like filming. So ultimately, I probably should have just not. I probably should have just put it off for another day, but then I was like, no, I really just want the series to be done. I know what colors I want to work with. Like, it'll be fine. And then, like, it wasn't, like, fine, but it was okay. We got there in the end. I do actually like this look. I like this look better. Oh, when I blend around the edges here, this is something that I did the first time I smoked out the pink on my eyes and wound up really liking, so I did it again here. I actually mixed Jean with Evelyn, that really gorgeous rosy, mauve-y brown transition shade that I was going on and on about earlier. Love, love, love. I mixed those two shades together and actually used that mixture to blend around my edges and really, really enjoyed that tone that I wound up with, enjoyed the way that that looked. So I just kept doing that. It was the one thing from like my earlier attempts with the pink and red smoky situation that I was like, I really like that. I'm going to keep doing that. So yeah, I just kind of built that up until I had something I was happy with. I did try to clean up my edges a little bit with concealer because obviously things were looking a little crazy. I had some harsh edges to contend with. Then I took Vein, and I decided Vein was just going to be the shimmer that I put absolutely everywhere. I do regret that. I do kind of wish maybe that I had just kept it on like the inner portion of the eye, like as an inner corner highlight, maybe take it onto the inner third of the eye a little bit, and then maybe highlight the brow bone again. Because I do like this look better matte. I like this look a lot better sans shimmer. So that's just something. And it might be just because I did pack on literally so much of this like really frosty white shade, and it just kind of transforms the whole thing in a way that is like not my favorite personally. But nevertheless, there we are. We made it. And here is a close-up of the bonus look for you, look number 6, using a combination of shades that I knew I loved from using them throughout the series, and also shades that I wanted to give a second chance to shine, particularly the Frenzy shimmer and the Detective Kimball shade, that denim blue I used to smoke out this wing. And I'd say it worked out pretty good. So there you have it. There's my experience using this palette, a little in-depth overview for you. I'm also really happy with this look that I did today, actually, just for the intro and the outro here. But it is fun. I am glad that I dipped into this blue to purpley shifting shimmer in particular. I think it's so pretty. It deserved to have its moment. It's very mermaidy, this look. I like it. Honestly, if I had thought to film me doing this look that I'm wearing right now, I might have slotted it in instead of look number 5 in particular. I don't super love look 5, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Look 5, though, speaking of red stuff, let's talk about the gloss and the body shimmer. So the body shimmer I want to talk about in particular It's not going to be for everybody, if I'm being honest. First of all, the scent is interesting. It's like a combination of like a candy sweet, just kind of sugary scent and like a powdery rose situation. It's not my favorite. It's not super strong. It's not like overpowering, so I don't mind it that much. Like after applying it, I'd have to get like super close to my skin to actually smell it on myself. But it's like a beautiful, lovely, hydrated finish. And if you layer it up, it does give you kind of like a bit of a rosy glow, but nothing crazy, you know, because of the red pigment in it. It's a really fun application process, if nothing else, and it does look really, really nice. So I do have an issue with the packaging. When I first opened my box with my stuff in it, this had been leaking all over everything because the actual like component, like the cap on here, if you look in here, the tube part is like a little too long. Could have done with a little more trimming. You can see it's like crammed in the corner here. It's like long enough that the cap doesn't actually fully lock into place on top. So maybe I will just see if I can give it a little bit of a trim at some point here. I haven't tried to mess with it yet. But it is quite literally pushing, the cap is pushing itself up off of the bottle because the tube that pumps the product out is like too long. So this had kind of leaked quite a bit in the box with all the stuff by the time, and like during its travel to me. And you can see even when I put the cap on top, it's like crooked on there. So presentation wise, packaging wise, it's a little chaotic, but the actual product inside is quite nice. But yeah, if you are generally sensitive to scent, especially if you don't like rose scents, this might not be up your alley. So those are all things to keep in mind with that. It's a very fun product. But if I had known any of those things about it before buying it, I probably wouldn't have bought it. The gloss is it's a nice gloss. It's not like a mind-blowing lip gloss. It's not like, it does have a lovely strawberry scent though. It has like that really delectable kind of candy strawberry scent, which I love personally. It's nice. It's a nice finish on the lips, just kind of like a sheer sparkly situation. You can layer it up to get more of that red pigment, but like one layer of this is just going to kind of give you that barely there whisper of color with like some sparkle that's really nice. But you can also layer it up and almost kind of get that popsicle lip effect. It's a nice gloss. It's not like a super thick, cushiony formula. It's a little thinner. It's a bit on the sticky side, but not super sticky, just like it has a nice grip to it, so it's going to stay put after you put it on kind of thing. So it's totally comfortable to wear. It's nice. It's a nice formula. And also, the packaging is very, very good. Love that. All the packaging, obviously, in this collection is super fun. So yeah, those are just the extra items from the collection that I decided to pick up because I have tried Wicked Widow eyeshadows before, obviously with the Crow palette, but I hadn't tried anything else from them before, so the things that piqued my interest, I picked up. Anyway, that is going to have to do it for this video because I actually have to head out and return some videotapes, so. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to hang out with me and talk about fun makeup stuff. It was very cool of you, and I hope you had fun. The collection will be linked down below. I don't know at the time that I'm posting this how much of all of it is still going to be available, but definitely check out Wicked Widow anyway. They do good stuff. I don't have any discount codes or anything with them, but I have mutuals who do, so I'll also share some discount codes down below so that you can take some money off your order if you decide to order from them. And I won't get any kickback off of that, but people I know who do good work for the brand and people I generally trust and admire in the beauty community, particularly the indie beauty community, will. So that'll be cool. That would be very cool of you if you wanted to take advantage of a discount code and support some smaller creators. Additionally, sorry, it's so warm. Oh my goodness. Additionally, everything else that's on my face here will be linked down below. Any link that you see with an asterisk next to it is a commission link, which means I do make a teeny tiny commission off of your purchase if you do shop through that link. They're not mandatory to use, they're just there if you want them. Alternatively, if you're interested in supporting the channel, if you haven't already liked this video or subscribed, maybe consider doing one or both, or, you know, you can also do neither, because that's also not mandatory, but highly appreciated. Everywhere that I am at on the internet, everything I'm doing on the internet will also be linked in the description box. If you care about that, you can follow me on all the places. Now, I really actually have to go before I boil alive, so I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you and your loved ones are staying safe and healthy out there. And, you know, be kind to others, be good to yourselves, and I will see you back here for the next one. Hopefully soon, unless the YouTube AI situation thinks I'm underage and locks me out of my account because I don't want to give them my ID or my credit card information. We'll see what happens with that. Hopefully this video is up before that point. What is happening? Yeah, anyway, I'm planning to see you guys back here. Unless someone stops me. So, you know, I'll catch you in the next one whenever that happens. Bye. Quick microphone check. Mic check, check, check. Lighting. Check, 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 check. Where am I gonna sit back here? Probably. Am I gonna keep my hair up? Probably. Which was 5 looks that I did using the Wicked Widow Beauty. If there are only specific looks that you're interested in seeing me do here, there will be all. If there are only, like, if there's just one look or, like, certain specific looks you're here to see me do and hear me talk about, there will be... It's hot. It's hot. It's hot in Topeka. It's hot in Topeka. Pick my toe. It's hot. Oh my god. Throwback. I'm drooling. What the fuck? Ah! What is happening to me? Oh my... Oh, I got the sneepy snoozling-ass kitty in here with me right now. Just napping so hard while I'm doing this. What a cutie pie you are, Nigel. We'll see if he starts snoring while I'm trying to record this. But he's being pretty fucking cute right now. And here's a close-up of the bonus look, look number 6, using the shades green... Green? No! It's a green shade, but the shade name is Greed. Greed. Greed Green. Oh my god.